My name is Vic Rollo, and I believe that Italy is the best place on earth to eat and drink. Follow me, and I'll prove it. In the Maremma area of Tuscany, Cinghiale or wild boar is a very popular classic local dish that proves that simplicity and fresh ingredients never fail. And I'm here with Amneris, see? And we're gonna cook Cinghiale. Cinghiale is a local wild boar, and the wild boar run wild here in the vineyards. People don't know, but this is oftentimes the meat of the land and a very typical dish of the Maremma, see? And we're gonna make a brasato with this piece of meat from the shoulder, see? See. So let's get the pan.
Sì.
And
Olio.
we're using olive oil, and the color of it is
Mettiamo.
absolutely fantastic. And we put the piece of meat into the braising pan. Black pepper, see, fresh ground. And always grind your own pepper. Don't use pepper out of a container because the ground pepper gives the flavor of pepper. You want to use pure ingredients. In Italy, it's all about la materia prima, the prime ingredients. We cook local. This is how they cook here in this part of Italy. Salt.
Salt
Sale.
and pepper.
And a lot of salt on the meat. And what we did here is we took the rosemary, we soaked it in water with garlic, and we blended it in a Cuisinart, a Robocou, in a food processor to make this kind of rosemary and garlic mix.
Mettiamo in forno.
We're going to put into the oven.
And what we need to do is we need to braise the meat. We need to brown the meat on all sides. It takes about 10 minutes in a nice hot oven. We have the oven set at about 200 degrees Celsius, which is about 350 degrees Fahrenheit. And remember that the art of cooking is not just the recipe, like 1 tablespoon of this, 2. You have to feel it. You have to love it. Get into it. Open a bottle of wine, drink some wine, work the recipe, have some fun. Family and friends in a good local recipe, nothing gets better. Let's go into the oven. I have the stock. We're gonna flip it over.
Adesso
See.
Now,
Girato.
girato.
you
See?
turn it.
Flip it over. Vino.
Vino.
About a half a bottle of wine. And we're
Right.
using the local
Ancora
vino.
un
See?
A
po'.
little more.
And a little bit of stock, which you always have on the, and this is important. We're gonna put a little in now, but as the meat cooks, because it's gonna cook for 2 hours, you need to constantly add a little stock, maybe a little bit more wine, maybe a little bit more oil. You have to watch the meat, or else it's gonna dry out. So the stock on the stove is very important. Again, you can put the roast in, you can have a glass of wine, we talk, we have fun, but keep an eye on the roast because we want to make sure that there's liquid in the bottom of the pan so that the meat doesn't dry out. Now we're going to put this back in the oven. We put it back in the oven for about 2 hours. I like to cook this meat medium rare to medium, and it's up to you. If you like it a little bit more well done, your temperature in the center will be a little bit higher. And when we cook this dish, it's important, it's a brasato. Brasato, when you braise something, means that you cook this dish all the way through. So you want to keep it in the oven, you got to keep adding the stock, a little bit more wine, and make sure that you develop a sauce. You want to keep it nice and wet, but you want to cook this meat all the way through. Now this is a very typical dish of the Maremma, see?
Sì.
It's typical of Tuscan Maremma.
See.
A typical dish is a wild boar too, alla cacciatora,
I pappardelle con...
with porcini, mushrooms,
E le pappardelle.
and pappardelle with wild boar.
Let's put it back in the oven.
Sì. Sì.
And I have this delicious polenta that we fried up. And it's just a creamy polenta. We put it in the fridge and we fried them, cut them into slices, and let's plate the cinghiale. You can see the cinghiale is in pieces now. We cut it up. Put that on the plate. See? See?
Ancora.
See? Some of the sauce.
Questo è buono con molto sugo.
This is good with a lot of sauce.
And then always
Olio di oliva.
Olive oil.
olive oil. Very local dish of the Maremma, simple and easy, absolutely delicious, and goes wonderful with these wines of the Maremma, the fruit-driven wines of the Maremma. Thank you. Grazie molto.
Grazie, grazie a te.
Thank you.